Good afternoon. I want to show you a tool that IR has worked to build over the last couple of weeks to help us understand better our degree productivity in relation to how we're doing compared to other IHL institutions. And I think this is a tool that you all will find useful as you all plan on making adjustments or proposing new degree programs at the institution. This is all based on zip codes. So it's kind of a timely conversation relative to some of the other things that we've been talking about. You'll be able to find this information at the institutional research website. So just go to usm.edu/institutional-research. And once you're there, you're going to want to click on the institutional data tab over here on the left. And then when you click on that, you're going to want to go to faculty and staff data access. And once you're there, it will ask you if you've not logged in before for your SOAR ID and password. So this is based on SOAR access, but it is anybody that has a SOAR, any faculty or staff member who has a USM SOAR ID and password can have access to this information. This is not part of Helio Campus. This is outside of the Helio Campus data access. Once you're into our that page, you're going to want to go to degrees awarded, and you're going to want to go to IHL Degree Productivity over here on the left. And once you click on that, you will see these two pages, if you will, pop up. One of them called IHL Overall, and the other called Degree Production. These are stacked on top of one another, but they are in fact independent panels, so you can work on one or the other. But you can't work on both of them at the exact same time. And what I mean by that is if I enter a zip code up here, it's not going to automatically populate that zip code down here. So you got to remember to enter that information in again. So on the IHL overall, this panel here shows our degree programs by title and zip code. And so zip code is very, very important because that's the only way that we can compare ourselves to our sister or peer institutions, because we all name things differently. But we should select the most appropriate zip code. You'll see the institution name, the degree code, and that's bachelor's, master's, doctoral, specialist, just the one-letter code for that. You'll see 3 academic years worth of data. So this is the academic year ending in 2020. This is the academic year ending in 2021. This is the academic year ending in 2022. This will be updated in the fall, of course, when the academic year 23 data becomes available from IHL. All of this is feeding directly off of the IHL data that is public domain. And then, of course, the 3-year total. So adding these 3 values together to give that total. And then, of course, a 3-year average is also available. So this particular panel will show you how the numbers of people getting degrees in your program compares to the overall IHL system, if you will. So the 7 other IHL institutions and plus us. So let's pick a zip code, and I'm going to pick 131312. And you'll notice I was typing that in, but as I'm typing it in, it pops up if it's available. And you do need to click it. You can't simply hit enter once you type in a zip code. And so what that does is it shows only that information for that particular zip code. And what you can see, of the 8 IHLs, there's only 4 of us that offer this particular degree, this 131312 zip code. So this is music education. One thing I should point out, you'll notice that IHL does not use the decimal point in the zip code. If you go to any other website, you'll see that this is 13.1312. But for whatever reason, IHL does not include the decimal place. So when you look up your zip code for your program, you'll just know that you need to remove that decimal place as you hunt for the zip codes in this particular list. But what you're looking at up here is you see that Delta State offers this at the bachelor's degree, and over 3 years has graduated 25 students. Jackson State has both a bachelor's and a master's. You can see the numbers that are shown there all the way across. Mississippi State has a bachelor's and master's. However, USM has a bachelor's and doctoral degree and a master's degree in this particular area. And so I can look and see how we are doing each and every year in terms of degree productivity, in terms of the raw numbers of students getting the degree. And you can see that USM does quite well in this particular area. We graduate the vast majority of students. Well, not majority, but of the institutions listed, we are the one with the most students. Now I can take that zip code and I can bring it down here again, so 13, 13, 12. And again, I've got to click on it again and it's going to populate. And so now what it does is it breaks down by degree code the institutions that are offering at the bachelor's, doctoral, and master's level in this case, and the percentage for each institution of the total for the 3 years. So if you hover over this, you'll see it's the percent of total 3-year total along pane. And so USM offered or has been granting 45, just a little over 45% of the total degrees in the last 3 years in this particular program for the IHL system. And you can see how the other institutions are doing as well. On the doctoral level, USM is the only one that has the doctoral program in this zip code, and so we give 100% of those, obviously. Now, 100% of what? Well, you can come up here and obviously look at it. And over the last 3 years, we graduated a total of 3 students in that particular area, an average of 1 per year. And so you can get this information quite readily from this particular set of panels that have been built out in our public Tableau. So this is open to any faculty member, staff, director, dean, provost, whoever at USM that has USM ID and SOAR password can log in and see this kind of information. And it gives us an idea of how our degree productivity compares to the other IHL institutions. This is the kind of information that we want you to be able to have at your fingertips as you're thinking about changes to your program, modifications, creation of new programs. All of that kind of information is going to be very, very valuable. You can look up a variety of different zip codes. Of course, many of them are related, so you might want to pick a set of other zip codes as well. You can also download information using the little down arrow that you see here, that's where it says download. So you'll be able to download information out of the Tableau workbook and work with it in Excel if you would rather do it that way. So I hope this quick little tutorial showed you how to access this information and make the most of it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.